In this video, I want to talk about enriched dough, brioche, focusing on some different types of it, the method of making it, and the popular ways to use it in different bakeries. Let's start with quite rich in flavor egg brioche. For this recipe, we are using classic T45 flour, which is a strong, appropriate, and widely used flour in many pastry recipes or applications. Then, instead of only white sugar, a part of brown sugar is added. Moreover, in addition to whole eggs, a portion of egg yolk is added too. So we have all the ingredients scaled and being put to the mixer. We leave it to mix and slowly increasing the speed. And in the meantime, we scale the butter. The colder, the better. After another round of mixing on a high speed, the strong dough is achieved, which means the gluten has developed sufficiently. Then the dough is folded and rested overnight. So what are the common ways to use brioche dough in bakeries? Perhaps the number one usage is just bun standalone, most typically for burgers or sandwiches. The filling really depends on you. I guess a bit of ham, cheese, and salad always works. The same dough can be sweetened too, for example with some extra chocolate chips or spices. However, when you mix brioche dough, try to keep your spices or grains for the end, as they interfere with the gluten formation. Or quite uncommonly, bakers also put the rolled brioche upside down, and before baking, put some sugar on top. The result is different, but it also depends on the preference. The same brioche can be baked in tins and later used for posto. Since the brioche is going to be baked again, slices get cut and brushed with sugar syrup. Then top up with almond or any other frangipane, fruit, and flaked almonds. Nanterre brioche perhaps is my personal favorite. The dough is so light, spongy, soft, and the flavor is just beautiful, traditionally baked in tins. The method for making this dough is slightly different. We start with a quite quick polish, which is made of flour, sugar, yeast, and milk. All these ingredients get mixed and then left to kickstart to ferment. After around 20 minutes, we come back with the rest of the ingredients and mix it well for around 10-15 minutes. Finally, butter is added and we finish mixing it until the dough gets very smooth. It takes around 10 minutes. Then the dough needs a good rest before handling again, so we come back to it next day, portion and arrange in the tins. You can also play with the dough and braid it like challah. I use 6 strands and I think it looks nicer if the strands are not too long, so the challah results being taller. Anyways, in this case I guess it's easier to show than to explain. The dough tends to proof quite fast, so from the moment you braid it, it won't take too much time until you brush them, top up with some seeds or nuts, and send them to the oven. I also like to play sometimes with the variation, so the rounded one looks quite nice too. The final one I wanted quickly to talk about is a croissant loaf. We call it croissant brioche, but even though it contains the same ingredients, it's a croissant dough. Some bakeries laminate the dough specifically to produce this brioche, but very often this brioche is made of the croissant trimmings. Then the balls are made, flattened and rolled into a log, proofed and baked. It can be sold standalone. You can also make another version of bosto, for example spreading some jam, adding some frangipane and topping with flaked almonds. Also, it can be used for Easter dessert, torrija, or French toast in general. There are many more ways to use brioche, but in this video I wanted to share what I have practiced so far in different bakeries. Hope you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week.